ॐ सहना भवतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावतीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Namaste. There are no bad soldiers, but bad generals. So we want to revisit our home. What is that? Our foundation, core values, self-esteem and trust. And we have got about 10 pillars. And we are going to discuss today on the 8th pillar. That means arouse in the other person an eager want. And the top of the house is the happiness. Okay. Now, the 8th principle is arouse in the other person an eager want. Every word very powerful. Arouse. Okay, in the other person, an eager want. So just try to understand every word and the spirit of the word. That means you are interacting with the other people. I want to reinforce again the entire purpose of this human relation principle is I want to be happy as an individual. I want to make the other person also to be happy so that I can establish the harmony, and you can do it only by having the strategy of win-win. Okay, now in this particular case, I am dealing with the outside world, outside person, maybe an individual or a kind of a group. So I have to use this particular principle in an effective way. What do you mean by that? Arouse. That means you have to really arouse the feeling of the people in the other person or the group as an eager want. That means he wants, he is dying for it. So wants, but he cannot recognize. So that is the purpose of this particular principle. That means, yes, I have to really arouse the eager want in the other person. Okay, now all of us are interested in what we want. So if I am interested in my health, so I just spend a lot of time, that's my priority. If I am wanted to have a progress in my career, that means I spend a lot of time, that is your priority. Now the whole idea is, whatever that we want, so we are interested. Okay, see now, let us understand the 3 words. One is desire, prompted by the mind. Mind desires. Okay, now the need. The mind desire, but intellect tell you, it is not required or it is required. So intellect is the boss. So he knows what is the need. Okay. Now the combination of the mind and the intellect will decide about the want. Suppose if you are only interested in the mind, see that means you will not be able to really achieve whatever that you want. The mind will demand so many things. You have to consult the intellect also. So the combination of the mind and the intellect will make the want. Okay, let me explain to you about this particular one. See now, when you are dealing with the people, never ever focus on the negative thoughts and only focus on the positive thoughts. One. And other thing also, you must make sure that you must show the big picture, right? The superordinate goal. and you must also create a kind of a tremendous amount of enthusiasm. Okay, and that make the person to know that he really wants it. He really wants it. Okay, I'll just give an example of some of the great leaders. See this kind of a concept, arouse in the other person eager want. That means it is like a double-edged knife. It is like a double-edged knife. Okay, for example, look at Adolf Hitler in Germany. He aroused the feeling of the Germans. He wanted to conquer the world. It was a negative thing. He has to use the force. Okay, he is also able to do it. He was able to arouse the feeling of the other people. Okay, that's not really good. It is destructive. Suppose if we take the same thing about Mahatma Gandhi, that means he also aroused the feeling of the entire India for the freedom of the India from the British. Now there is a lot of commonality. That means he was able to have a kind of the arouse the feeling of the entire India. And similarly, if you look at Lee Kuan Yew of Singapore, the Prime Minister, he was able to arouse the feeling of the Singaporeans by saying big idea, big picture, whatever he wants to do it. He always say, look at the big picture, that is Singapore. Look at the big picture, the Singapore. Okay. And our Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, he was able to arouse the feeling of Indians of the quote, vision of New India. Okay, now they're all great people. Now let us come to our own life. So I would like to share my own experience. See, when I was young, so I had a problem with one of the employment. Okay, I was completely frustrated. So there was a tenant in my house and he knows me and he always used to help me. Then he asked me, Chandru, why are you so bad today? Your mood is not good. Then I just explained to him, this is what exactly had happened. And then it's a lot of insults. So I am not able to really stand it. That's why I am not happy. Then what he said, Chandru, see, you got a tremendous amount of potential. Forget about this other man. Just forget about this man. Okay, you just tap your own potential. I'll support you. And believe it or not, his name is Srinivasa Raghavan. He only ignited this spark in my life. He only ignited this spark in my life. He just told me, Chandru, you have got a lot of potential. Forget about the other man. And he also got a first job. Such a great man. I am so grateful to him. That is one. See, in my own other experience, when I had a health problem, one Dr. Verma, he visited me. And then he just told my son, Prabhu. And then he said, look, your father is a fighter. And he will bounce back. But I could not comprehend at that particular time. He was just telling him, your father is a fighter. So he will bounce back. And let me tell you, this particular feeling, the arouse in the other person eager want, then made me to bounce back. So I am also so grateful to Dr. Verma. Okay, that is our one. See now, this is my experience with others. I also want to share the experience of the other people with me. See, one of my executive is very intelligent, but very lazy. He can do it, but he will not do it. But I don't know how to really motivate him. And one day, I just called him to my cabin. I just told him, listen, see now, I want to promote you. Okay, but you don't deserve it now. But you are capable of doing it. You get up and work on this particular one. No, I will not sanction the increment right now. Okay, but I want to just watch you for next another 6 months. And if you are able to really perform with your potential, that means I will take you from the retrospective effect. Then I also told him, I just told him politely that you are very capable of doing it. You have got the capacity, but you are very lazy. You are not able to contribute. Now I do not want to give the increment for an undeserving man. Okay, now help me to promote you. Okay, so believe it or not, and he was able to perform extremely well, and now he is an entrepreneur now. And one more experience. One of my cousin's classmates, he called me one day. He said, sir, I want to talk to you immediately. Can I have an appointment? Then I just told him, look, you can come, tomorrow. And then he said, no, sir, I cannot, wait for tomorrow. So I would like to meet you immediately. Then I asked him, is it so urgent? Then yes, sir, I am not able to stand. I cannot able to sleep. Okay, so I want to really meet you right now if it is possible. Then immediately I thought, okay, there must be something very, very urgent. So I said, okay, you can come. Then he just came. Then I just listened to him. And he wanted to close the factory. And there is a lot of pressure from his own families and friends. And he wanted to close. Then he said, okay, look, I just wanted to just discuss with you. Then I allowed him to talk without asking any questions. Then I listened completely for nearly about half an hour. Then I asked a lot of questions to him. Then I just shared my own experience. That means I also had a problem. Okay, then I had to close a particular division, but I am able to continue the same company. So in life, there will be a failure and a success. And as an intelligent person, you must try to take equally the success as well as the failure. And then he was just, listening very carefully. I can just tell you that my experience of my failure really made him to really wake up. Oh yeah, if you can do it, okay, I think I can also do it. Then what happens? I have told him that you are capable, but you have got a lot of intelligence. There will be a problem. So I was trying to arouse the nobleness and the capacity in fighting. Then he did it. And now he is also an excellent, successful entrepreneur. So why I am trying to this particular example, that means everybody has got a lot of the potential. So as an individual, so I must convince myself, yes, it is possible. And then you can arouse the other person an eager want. Okay, and all of you can definitely do it with your family members or the peers and all your friends. Okay, but the only thing you have to make sure that you must have the tremendous amount of courage and enthusiasm to arouse the feeling of the other person. That means they got the talents, but you have to tap it. Okay, take care, all the best. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhavet Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.